his mythology, he would create a system in which he would utilize.
You just used multiple words incorrectly.
I think
that sounds about right, doesn't it?
I think I'll be stiff to begin, but I think I'll work my way into it.
You stiff? No.
I'm not tight. I'm not tight.
I'm not tight. You're tight. I'm not tight.
You're tight.
Matt LaFleur.
Is that classic. A hotkey yet, Strofe?
No, it is not, but I think without context, what you guys are saying, we should not say, so I'm going to need to make it a hotkey.
Yep, we're going to need to make it a hotkey. 800-990-3776 is the Carbless Talk and Text line. Less is more. You can see us on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison. And that's a must right now. If you're just joining us, Brad Nordman has a buzz cut. And first and foremost, I would like to say thank you. A huge thank you to everybody in KBN Nation. Yesterday, Gabe Neitzel of Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on 94.5 ESPN joined us for the whole 3 hours of our show. We were breaking down everything Giannis Antetokounmpo, the end to the Milwaukee Bucks game, and we do this every year, and it was a great way to get over the jarring loss that the Bucks had and help raise money for the MAC Fund, which you can still do by texting golf to 800-990-3776. We raised about $5,000 in 3 hours, in which led to Brad Nortman on video right now in a full buzz cut. We reached the point where Alex Strofe, I said, "What are you going to do? I think you should get a buzz cut." He challenged me and said, "Well, what are you going to do?" And then that was stupid because I said, I'll get a buzz cut. Because I'll do just about anything. And so I think now is the time to probably reveal Alex Strofe, because he did follow through. He got a buzz cut, and I can't take him serious. I just can't take him serious. I need everyone to... You got to be on stream the entire show. I need anyone popping in on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee to see you and say, what the heck happened to Alex Strofe? So without further ado, hit the sounder for that, Strofe. Alex Strofe, everybody! Yeah!
Yeah, Alex, yeah. It actually... I think it actually looks okay.
I think it looks okay. Which I was not anticipating given my nervousness yesterday, but I actually think it turned out all right. Tony Cartagena.
You look like a failed rapper. You look like a failed rapper.
Ben, I'm not saying I look like a Channing Tatum-esque model right now, right? I'm bald. But it looks, or almost bald, I guess, technically. It looks better than I was anticipating. So big ups to TC.
Here's what I will say.
That's all TC.
TC, producer of the analysis show, Tony Cartagena, I had called you, and I heard his voice. I was like, oh, at least it's not like, your girlfriend doing it. I can't imagine she's like buzzed a lot of hair. If she has, good for her. But that being said, he literally gave you a fade. Like, you look like it's professionally done. So props to TC, because you don't look good, but at least it made it look like somebody tried to make you look good.
You don't look good.
Well, there is an image that's just vibrating off of Strofe, right? He's got a nondescript brown hoodie. He's either like a washed up rapper, like you said, Ben, or he's just a guy who's just trying to trying to hoop it up like at an outdoor basketball court. I feel like he looks slightly more athletic, which isn't saying much, but slightly more athletic. Yeah. It almost makes me want to have him redo the combine, because I wonder if just the hair, just slightly more aerodynamic and slightly more athletically confident, maybe shave off some of those numbers.
Yeah, I would think
so. The problem that I have with that is, Brad, it was already a bad look when Strofe was doing things looking unathletic, but isn't it worse if you look athletic and then you're also just the most unathletic person on planet Earth? Doesn't it make it worse?
That's fair. That's very fair. I feel like maybe it would be even more of a shock to the senses. So, but what did the significant other say?
Her immediate.
Yeah, we got to talk about the ladies of Kyle Brust-Nortman. I got to hear from Lexi. I do want to hear from Strofe's girlfriend, and then I believe Strofe, you have something that was recorded that you recorded with my fiance. That now I don't even know what she said, but I think she's mad.
Yeah, that's correct. We'll get to that. I would just like to throw out there, my girlfriend is the best. I walked up to her, I took off my hat, and her initial response was, "You look so cute."
Oh,
she's an affirmer. She's
really
just like
lied
you.
to your face. Yeah, but I don't know. I like relationships built off trust and honesty, and that's not trust or honesty.
Oh, wow.
I disagree. She told me she likes it. I sent a photo to her and her best friend as well, and the best friend said, "Not as bad as I was expecting."
Wow. I mean, I guess everyone has.
Brad, you look no different than when you played football.
Yeah,
so why the heck could your fiance or wife of 18,000 years be mad?
Yeah, so if we remember correctly, I was going to text because something like this, my dashboard starts lighting up and say, "Oh my gosh, I need to tell Lexi." It's better off if she's not surprised. So remember, I sent her a text yesterday, probably 20 minutes before I was going to get the haircut, and I said, "Hey, Lexi." I didn't say that, actually. I don't know why I just said that. I said, "Hey," as an FYI.
I love Lexi.
I love Lexi. I did end with that. I said, "Hey, there's a good chance I come home today with a shaved head." And then everyone was like, "Oh, it'd be so fun if she was surprised." So I unsent it and basically just I couldn't fully unsend it. So I just did a little space bar. So there's nothing in it. And then she said, question mark. I said, "Oh, sorry, sent the wrong text." So I walked in the door and I was expecting quite the reaction. And she gave me a glance, maybe a glare that was like, "I can't believe you actually did it." Her grandmother, who is a faithful listener of the show, shout out Bama. She texted Lexi and she said, "Do you see what your husband's doing right now?" And Lexi said, "No, what?" And she said, "He's shaving his head on live radio." And Lexi just said basically back "OMG." So she was prepared for it. But she did say there was two things. She said, and this is where I can associate with you a little bit, Ben. Baby shower for baby Nortman is end of June. And she just said, if your hair doesn't look normal by the end of June, we got problems. And then additionally, I said, "Okay, we have 2 months. I think I'll be okay." And then after about a half hour after it settled in, we're preparing dinner, we're walking around. She looks back at me and she's like, "I'm freaking out. I feel like I'm in a time warp to 2015. You look exactly like you did when you were playing for the Panthers."
No, the poor girl's having PTSD of when Brad was in Charlotte and he bought one car and didn't give her a car, so she had to walk around the city of Charlotte despite her man's making NFL salary money. And she's having PTSD. I can't blame her.
And so this is hilarious too. So TC did a great job cutting my head, but it was with a little beard trimmer and it just needed to get tightened up a little bit. And before I could even ask, because back in Charlotte, when I was playing in the NFL, who cut my hair but the first lady of the Norman Estate, Lexi. So she before I even asked, she said, "Before you even ask, I am not cleaning your hair up. You are going to your own barber for that." She said, "I'm not." She's putting her foot down. She's like, "No more one car, no more barber." She's a new woman. So this morning I went to my barber and I got it cleaned up a little bit, but how about that? That's growth for her. So you're right. PTSD, Ben, because she was saying to herself, "No way I'm touching those clippers again." Brad made his bed.
I like my life at the Nortman Estate. I don't want to be walking around downtown Charlotte, driving Brad to the Charlotte or the Carolina Panthers practice facility, dropping him off in the back of the practice facility, so he's not seen getting dropped off by his fiance/wife/girlfriend, whatever you were at the time. 800-990-3776 is the Carbless Talkin' text line. For those who missed it, we raised about $5,000 during Kyle Brust-Nortman help with the MAC Fund and the Ringer event for Gabe Neitzel, Greg Matzik, and Stephen Watson. Thank you to all who contributed, which led to these beautiful faces on YouTube. Alex Strofe with a buzz cut, Brad Nortman with a buzz cut, and as the king of follow-through of the Ringer fundraiser,
the king of follow-through,
I need to get a buzz cut as well. And
yeah, I mean, we did it within 24 hours.
Yeah, ours are done, Ben, and we have to wait. Today is Thursday, so that's 1 day. Friday, 2 days. Saturday, 3 days. Sunday, 4 days. We got to wait 5 days for the king of follow-through to follow through, while the other two bozos that got roped into this by you already have it done. I'm not fully convinced you're going to do it, to be real honest with you.
I think there's a little bit of fear in the Brust household.
I think you're right.
I think he knows what's
He's
coming down the
intimidated.
pike.
The Brust household, or there's fear in Ben Brust?
Yeah, Ben Brust.
Doing the
Better way to
same.
put it. Because there's high stakes in the
Strofe,
Brust household.
you got a little surprise for me?
Yeah, I mean, you were part of the conversation, but it is a surprise. Here is an exclusive conversation that Detective Strofe found between Ben Brust and his lovely fiance.
I'm getting a buzz cut on Monday.
Your face is peeling.
What do you think?
I just don't understand why it had to happen before our wedding. Like, can we do this on August 23rd? Why does it have to be on Monday?
Because we're raising money for childhood cancer.
That's great. You committed to it. You're going to do it, but it's going to happen after our wedding.
It's going to?
I mean, I don't know how much say I have, but I would prefer that. Everyone on the show could, get aligned with me and agree that after our wedding is probably best.
Oh.
Put your foot
It doesn't
down.
sound like I'm in trouble. It sounds like the pressure's been tossed to Alex Strofe and Brad Nortman to convince my fiance that it's all good.
Honestly, put your foot down, fiance Brust. I love that. She said you're not getting it cut, and now she's eliciting the KBN Nation Army to see how much that we can possibly do to push you past. I gotta say, I'm gonna be on team Ben's fiance on this one. I am. This is going to put you in a tough situation, Ben.
No.
I want him to be conflicted. I want him to feel guilty as he's going to get the buzz cut. But I want him to
Everyone
feel a
on the
little
show
guilty
could,
when he does it.
get aligned with me and agree that after our wedding is probably best.
So here's what future Mrs. Brust needs to understand about her bozo husband to be. All right? What happened yesterday was, prior to the show, Ben said, just like Anchorman, no touching of the hair or face, can't do anything. And this man, admittedly and impressively, has 0% shame, and sometimes, scratch that, all the time gets caught up in the moment and says things he probably shouldn't. When I was in a corner being pressured to shave my head, I thought Ben would go, I ain't going to do it, I got a wedding coming up, but he immediately snapped back and said, I'll do it too. So absolutely not. He should be a man of his word. He said he's going to do it. He hasn't done it. I did it. But I only did it because Ben said he would do it with me. And as I look on the YouTube stream,
Gosh,
Ben has more
I look
hair
really
than
good
me.
with hair compared to you two.
Ben has a lot more hair than me and Brad combined.
Yeah, he does.
So
He really
I'm
does.
not getting aligned with nobody.
Ben, what are we
Sure,
waiting
you want
for?
to fight that battle with my fiance? You could be seeing yourself off the guest list pretty soon. There, pick your battles wisely.
If I get kicked off the guest list because her fiance has no gumption and isn't a man of his word, I can die happy because I fought the good fight. That's
If
what I'm
anything,
fighting
Ben,
today.
I would have thought there would be such a sense of urgency to get that haircut so the growth could restart as fast as possible. What are we waiting for?
Also,
we got clippers.
August is 3.5 months away. Your hair will be back.
On the Carbless Talking text line, many people upset with me. We got some all caps text messages. Plenty of people telling me that my hair will grow back in time, and wondering why I am not buzzed right now in terms of buzzed cut.
Stinky Ben.
All right.
Stinky Ben. Stinky Ben.
I will ask the audience, 800-990-3776. What would you do if you were me? You got a directive? An indirect directive from the old, ball and chain, as they say.
The old ball and chain. That seems like the right thing to call it right now.
That's about as declarative and assertive as I have heard future Mrs. Brust. So, that's something to consider, Ben.
Everyone on the show could, get aligned with me and agree that after our wedding is probably best. I'm just...
That's pretty direct. That's pretty direct.
She said we could get aligned with her. We could, but we're not going to.
No.
She didn't say has to. She didn't give an ultimatum, and that's where I feel like on Monday I do want to know as well. Should I get it cut in the studio, or do you just want me to show up with a surprise? 800-990-3776. All right. I got to get back to Giannis because I want to make sure that we do our best to make sure that we're covering every scenario possible to make sure he is a Milwaukee Buck And again, I of the belief that it would have to take Giannis asking out, and I don't know if Giannis wants to be that guy. After watching the Mavericks organization, as Gabe Neitzel has shared with us, and many others are in line with this, the Bucks can't be the bad guy here. It would have to be Giannis. And I don't know if Giannis has it in him while still on contract with the Milwaukee Bucks to say, I want out. Is there any trade compensation in the world you would accept for Giannis? Obviously, if you got Wemby and Cooper Flagg and 10 picks, honestly, when I say that out loud, I'd almost say, give me Giannis. So I really want to know, is there any compensation that you would actually send Giannis away for? 800-990-3776, the Carbless Talking text line. We're back next.
This is Kyle Bruston-Nortman, KBN.
Yeah, see, the thing about me is, I like
crazy.
I like crazy. I like a little excitement in my life. I like a little bit of drama.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. You remember the moments from that magical March.
Side Decker, it's a three. Got it!
On June 26th, celebrate the squad with Made 'em Believe, a special night with Bo Ryan, Frank Kaminsky, and Sam Decker.
Here's Kaminsky, the drop stab, that's his favorite. And the two.
Presented by Bud Light, Michelob Ultra, Potosi Varsity Ale, and Potosi Hard Seltzer. Tickets are on sale now at uwhoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe, June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
No shortcuts, no compromises, just the job done right. At Exterior Pros, we don't just meet expectations, we crush them. Every nail, every window, every shingle is a step toward your home's next chapter. From the moment we start until that final reveal, we're committed to making your home better than ever. Quality products and craftsmanship you can count on. Go to the pros for your next project. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274.
Stay up to date on the Green and Gold all off season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman, here to tell you about my friends at Bank 5-9. Everywhere I go throughout the area, I see Bank 5-9, and it's no wonder why. Not only do they have 14 branch locations, but their employees spend nearly 9,000 hours each year volunteering in the communities that they serve. That's on top of the financial support that they provide to several hundred nonprofits right here in southeastern Wisconsin. If you're looking for a true local community bank, check them out today at bank59.com. Member FDIC.
If you're trying to get through your daily activities and you're noticing you can't because you're focusing more on your pain than being able to enjoy the moment, those are the patients that we're looking to treat because we can make a difference.
That's Dr. Ashley Caravelli, Milwaukee's medical director for QC Kinetics.
What we're doing at QC Kinetics is offering treatments that help with joint preservation. We use cutting-edge technology in our in-house lab to harness your body's natural healing powers and target the areas where you need them the most.
These are regenerative, non-surgical treatments, and QC Kinetics is the nation's leader, delivering lasting relief to tens of thousands of patients.
What we do know is that the sooner we start treatment, the sooner you'll see relief.
So don't wait another minute. See if you're a good candidate for these non-surgical treatments for joint pain. The consultation is completely free.
Weekend appointments available. Call now. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
This is Kevin Van Rossum, president of 3 Tree Marketing. If your company is struggling to create a buzz or just looking for a new way to stand out, our team is here to help point you in the right direction. We'll assist you in building your brand and prove we truly know what works. Experts at 3 Tree can build a one-of-a-kind gifting experience that can set your brand apart and show how much you value your customers as well as your employees. At 3 Tree Marketing, we chase partners, not orders. Visit 3treemarketing.com to learn more about what we can do for you.
Escape the city and relax at Lake Lawn Resort in beautiful Delavan, Wisconsin. Enjoy outdoor activities on Delavan Lake. Tee off at the lakeside Majestic Oaks Golf Course or unwind at the award-winning Calidora Spa. With both indoor and outdoor pools, there's fun for the whole family. Take a cruise on the Lake Lawn Queen. Explore stunning shores and historic landmarks and enjoy delicious food and drinks on board. Book your stay today at lakelawnresort.com, where everything is better at the lake.
Right now, more than 100,000 children waiting in foster care need our help. The Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption is focused on finding them safe, permanent homes. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
I don't know why we're playing this music, but gosh, I love seeing the video on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison with Brad Nortman buzzed, Alex Strofe with no hair, and the barber that did it all, Tony Cartagena, joining us here on Kyle Bruston Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin.
It's not every day I'm the worst looking person on the panel, but damn, you guys look good.
Your handiwork, DC, impressive. When I told, so I went to like my normal lady this morning, right, just to kind of clean it up, and she said, somebody did this with a beard clipper? She was impressed. She's like,
Really?
that's actually, yeah, she was like, that's actually impressive.
So Strofe's whole thing was, hey, come over to my apartment. I have clippers. We can do this, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, all right, cool. That's easy enough. I'll walk over there because it's close to our office. He had a beard trimmer.
But a much bigger version of what we used on Brad yesterday.
It honestly wasn't that different. The only difference was the lack of product in the hair. Like, so Strofe had a beard
that
trimmer.
is a big difference.
The product was a huge difference. I could have did a little bit better with yours without the product. Strofe didn't have any product in his hair. He had a beard trimmer, which it worked, but the guards that he had, so like you want it to be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so you can do it and fade it up evenly. Strofe just had a no guard, so that's like skin, and then 3, 5, 7.
It's a big jump.
And I was like, bro, I don't want to. And then at one point we had to use one of his can I say girlfriends or roommates? Yeah, whatever.
You can say girlfriend.
Okay,
I don't think it's a secret. I live with my girlfriend.
All right, cool. I don't know. You know, we had to use one of her razors to fix because, like, dude, you hadn't cut your hair that short, and obviously forever there was such stubble where it looked like a bad shadow. So I had to take a razor, a new one out the box, and like straight blade it essentially.
Wow.
But we got him looking okay.
Looking good.
Brad and Strofe, should I feel confident in the KBN Nation barber TC for Monday?
I mean, look at the final products. What more do you need to see?
I don't think you need a better example than right here, right, Moi? Look at this haircut. It's beautiful.
So here's
Tony. If you cut me that low, we'll have some
okay,
fighting
do you know what the
words.
crazy part is? So Strofe's thing, I looked at it and I was like, this just looks short because it's a beard trimmer. I did Brad's with a 3. Strofe's is a 5.
That's crazy. It looks just as short as mine.
It's shorter.
I think it's shorter.
It's shorter.
I think with Strofe's head, his hair is so dark and his skin is so pale. The skin underneath is so pale. There's a contrast that just catches your eye.
Here's the thing. Lexi doesn't hate me, correct?
No, she doesn't. No, she doesn't. Okay.
Good
She's
there.
all good. If anything, it's nostalgic for her.
Strofe's girlfriend said it looked cute. That's a win.
I have a witness.
What do you mean you have a witness?
They didn't believe me.
Oh, yeah. No, Strofe's girlfriend said it looked cute. That's good enough for me. At least I didn't completely, botch it. The only issue I'm having is Ben's fiance, who their wedding is August 22nd. She scares me.
Yeah.
I see her in the hallway sometimes, and I'm like, that is not a person you mess with. So I checked my calendar, and I looked at all my potential openings to cut Ben's hair. Ben, I hate to tell you, the next available opening is August 23rd.
Oh, no.
So next time I'm available to cut hair.
No.
Sorry, Ben.
No.
Sorry, Ben. I can't do it.
Because now
can't do it before
KBN
then.
Nation they're after me right now. I'd send Giannis away for Ben to get his buzz cut. I mean, like that's to the level of people want to see the buzz cut Benny again.
And you raised the money.
Lasagna's chiming in. I donated to help fund this bet. I have a feeling that Ben is going to have regrets, and he's begging his fiance to give this audio. Like he's like again, people are on to me.
I have a compromise.
I maybe planted that audio with my fiance as a potential out to get out of this.
I have a compromise.
As we all know, what's the compromise?
It will be done before the honeymoon. So all your honeymoon photos, you will be Buzz Cut Benny. Ooh. And those you will see those on IG way more than wedding photos. It will be done before. If you fly out, I promise you this.
You're making this worse. You're making this worse for me. I'd rather just bite the bullet now. No, Monday it is. Monday it absolutely is.
You would rather she be mad at you now?
For that,
Doug, I donated for this.
Everyone on
Don't
the show
let me
could, get aligned with me and agree that after our wedding is probably best.
I agree.
Now it's too late now. But what we should have done is put a certain amount of donations for Ben to get his haircut now, and then another increased amount for the week of his wedding, and see if KBN Nation would have really pulled out
the week of my wedding.
Yeah, could you put a price on that? Now it's too late.
No,
this isn't on the table.
Not too late.
No.
The website is still
there is a price for just about everything, but I would say there's a chance that I would not be on planet Earth if I did that before our wedding. So I'm just going to rule that one out. I'm all for helping the Mac Fund, but I want to be alive to see the Mac Fund do the research and help childhood cancer.
I want to see you get married. And after hearing that audio, I'm a little concerned that y'all might not make it to the altar.
I'm actually really upset with KBN Nation. If I may, it was not just a week ago that or a little bit before that, Brad Nortman and Kyle Wallace each handed me two $20 bills, crisp $20 bills. And I started the show by saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, I was at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. I forgot to place your $20 to win $34 Bucks series to win the Pacers bets. And you guys lost it on me." And what did I do? At the end of the segment, I revealed that I had both betting slips right there. Sure did. And KBN Nation is now turning on me, thinking that my fiance has all the power over me. This man is not whipped. This man is a man of his word. This man doesn't raise money to back out. I will see you Monday at 2:00. Tony, clear the schedule or I'll do it myself.
Wait. Hold on. Repeat that line.
Wait, why did I say that? Why did I say that?
That's a nice change.
No, hit the record scratch,
I like
Stroh.
that idea. I like that idea. That's good.
Now we're talking.
I guess he's doing it himself.
I keep doing dig the whole thing and then digging deeper.
I jumped on here with an out for you. You would have been on the good side of the fiance. You get it cut right before the honeymoon, a nice fresh buzz to enjoy the tropics or wherever you're headed. And then you just dug the grave deeper, bro. That's on you.
All right, KBN Nation, I will deliver to you. As again, I will say I am disappointed that they think that I would be listening to my fiance over living up to my word. Let's go to Diana McGuanago, 800-990-3776 on the Carbless Talk and Text line. Dirty D, what's up?
I think they should make you a skinhead.
I don't know if we should say that. Dump, probably. And that's two dumps from Diana, as we will now have to make an in-show suspension moving forward out of love, out of love to wanting to protect our jobs. Ben Brust, Alex Stroh running the show, Brad Nortman with you, TC the barber of KBN Nation. Will be cutting my hair on Monday. I will deliver this for you, KBN Nation. Stroh, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much did you cook on this becoming relevant?
Ooh, good question. I like the scale. You know I love a good scale game.
Big scale guy.
Yeah, I'm a big scale guy. I think this is a good 8 out of 10.
A good 8 out of 10. I shoot for 10 out of 10 every time with you, and I don't know why I have such high expectations. But 10 out of 10 is when you score big at Woodman's with $5.99 Screamin' Sicilian pizzas. There is no limit, so stock up on all of your favorites and taste what all the screamin' is about. That is April 28th. It started through May 6th. Get to your local Woodman's right now for your OG Screamins. You have your Bessie's Revenge, which is cheese, your Boss Hog, which is sausage, your Holy Pepperoni, which speaks for itself, the Supremus Maximus, the Ultimate Deluxe, the Mother of Meat, the Mambo Italiano.
Mambo.
Wow, that was weak. Get to Woodman's, $5.99 for Screamin' Sicilians. No limit. Stock up. Becoming relevant. Better be better than 8 out of 10. Next.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN.
I'm a tool. My name is Ben Brust, and I'm a tool.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Beat the tariffs this month at Cunis. Get your tariff-free car, truck, or SUV before they're gone. All current in-stock new vehicles are not affected. Plus, take advantage of employee pricing and huge manufacturer discounts on select brands and models. Shop from over 2,800 cars, trucks, and SUVs group-wide from 18 new vehicle brands. Our loan experts will work to get you our best interest rate possible. And our Fresh Start financing program can help you get approved regardless of your credit. Plus, you're covered by our lifetime no-fear powertrain warranty, included with qualified new and pre-owned vehicle purchases. Visit your local Cunis dealership today for your tariff-free vehicle while they last. But don't wait, because once they're gone, they're gone. With over 30 locations across the Midwest, there's sure to be a Cunis location near you. Start your search online at shopcunis.com. That's shopkunes.com.
The Bog in Saukville is Ozaki County's best golf experience. 18 championship holes designed by legendary golfer Arnold Palmer cater to golfers of all skill levels. Settled amongst over 250 acres of beautiful private land, the Bog offers a truly unforgettable golf experience. Play the finest greens of Wisconsin, and after your round, have a signature cocktail while enjoying our Friday fish fry from the clubhouse overlooking the 18th green. It's time to golf, Wisconsin. It's time to enjoy the Bog.
Your current car? Soon to be your old car. A new car? Better start looking. But you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with free credit score and score monitoring on most new consumer checking accounts. Because when you know you need to make a big purchase, knowing your credit score puts you in the driver's seat. You've got this with free credit monitor from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Hey, Wisconsin sports fans, come join Kyle Brust and Norman live at Third Space Brewing, Milwaukee's happy place, on Friday, May 2nd. And if you show up in your Wisconsin baseball gear, you'll get $2 off pints during the show. Sip on fresh brews like Happy Place Midwest Pale Ale, grab some food, and hang with the crew. Stick around for Under the Bridge Thursdays with live local bands, food trucks, and good vibes. Not drinking? Try Headspace Sparkling Water by Third Space, infused with hops, fruit, and hemp-derived THC. Catch ESPN Milwaukee live at Third Space Brewing just west of downtown Milwaukee on Friday, May 2nd.
Slide into your neighborhood Century Food Store to score the freshest produce, tastiest treats, and everything in between. Now through Wednesday, save on 48-ounce selected variety Cedar Crust ice cream, $4.49. 13.1 to 16-ounce selected varieties Swanson Hungry Man dinners, 2 for $7. 11 to 18.7-ounce selected varieties Kellogg cereal, 2 for $6. 8 to 15.75-ounce selected varieties Frito-Lay Party Size Lay's, Tostitos Natural, or Tostitos Dip, $3.99.
Attention shoppers. Safe.
Okay. Ooh. Pineapple fulfills every need.
While you're shopping, a drive way back, it's a gunner.
There's something goofy going on with the PA.
Need a price check and I'll take me out to the ball game.
See, what is going on?
You're hearing things. We're at Century Foods, and you can't take your mind off winning that ultimate baseball fan sweepstakes.
I'm hoping to throw out the first pitch at a Milwaukee baseball game.
Or attend batting practice.
Or hold the finish line ribbon for the racing sausages.
You don't say.
The ultimate baseball fan sweepstakes at Century Foods. Enter on Century's Facebook or Instagram by July 30th.
Hey, it's Brad Nortman, and I've got to tell you about my go-to car wash, Tsunami Express. Get your ride looking its best and ride the wave at Tsunami Express Car Wash, Milwaukee's fan favorite for that perfect shine. Sign up for a monthly membership and enjoy unlimited washes for less than $1 a day. Skip the wait with the fast lane and take advantage of great perks. With locations in Midtown Milwaukee, Waukesha, Greenfield, Oak Creek, and Mount Pleasant, Tsunami Express has you covered. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat. Visit TsunamiExpress.com to learn more.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
She told me, honey, pick your poison, mine's a lemon and gin with a hit. I mix some pretty poison over her head. I'll admit, I'm kinda craving the taste.
Kyle Brust and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. I'm Ben Brust, hanging out at Madison today at the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison Studios. Brad Nortman will be trying out as lead host at the Gruber Lofts' One Call That's All Studios at some point during the show. And Alex Strofe is running it at 800-990-3776, the Carbless Talking text line. Both Brad and Strofe will be on video all show long, showcasing their new buzz cuts. Strofe's is one to see. Brad just looks like he's a college athlete again. And Strofe looks like a failed rapper and a failed producer based off that music pop. Let's get to becoming relevant.
Hey, Mr. Irrelevant, it's time to become relevant. Strofe's time to shine on KBN starts now.
I like when he throws shade, given that everybody in KBN Nation is currently against him.
It's a redirect.
Yeah.
He's just redirecting.
It's impressive. The lack of awareness from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison.
Oh, I'm aware of what I'm doing, Strofe.
Now, I thought you thought you thought you were onto something. He looks like a failed rapper with that music pop. Ha 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 ha.
It's no different than when I fail at jokes every single day. Like I'm literally the same person. I just have hair and you guys don't. All right, cool. What's becoming relevant other than pressing buttons?
Cool. Tyrese Halliburton yesterday on the Pat McAfee show says last summer the Milwaukee Brewers invited him to throw at a first pitch. And then after the Pacers eliminated the Bucks in the NBA postseason, they nixed it. They revoked their invitation, according to Tyrese Halliburton. To that I say, good. Brad, what say you?
Oh, I love this. Good for you, Milwaukee Brewers. When you mess with one of our own, being the Milwaukee Bucks, because we are all one big sport family here in the great state of Wisconsin, this is what you do. You send a message. You can't mess with us like this. And honestly, they probably knew there was going to be a little bit of social blowback from it. And they said, you know what? Willing to take it. You can't mess with the Bucks. You can't mess with Milwaukee. This is what happens when you do. Good for the Milwaukee Bucks. I'm going to be honest. I love the Brewers. But this is they're very big on a good public relations image, the Milwaukee Brewers. Kind of like that fun family. They say, hey, we're going to let you do this. I love the toughness, Milwaukee Brewers. I love it.
He would have gotten booed. He wouldn't have enjoyed the experience. So if anything, the Brewers did him a favor by revoking the offer. Who's to say that he would have even done it because he knows he wouldn't have been warmly welcomed at American Family Field. At this point now, again, based off the way that his dad handled himself, and he was on TV yesterday in local Milwaukee television having an interview on TMJ4, and he's backtracking on his apology, saying he wasn't disrespectful. Like, you think I'm going to believe you over Giannis? Over Giannis. You're trying to be more believable than somebody like Giannis. Good luck with that. I'm going to trust Giannis. And the idea that he still thinks in his mind that standing in front of Giannis and holding a flag of his son, even if he says he wasn't cursing, I'm going to trust Giannis here, but even if in this scenario he wasn't cursing, acting like that wasn't disrespectful, being on the floor staring at the one of the top 3 players in the world with the championship, like, get a grip, dude. You were in the wrong, and nobody in Wisconsin, unless they're your closest family, is going to respect or like you because of your actions. Actions come with consequences, and if you really want to make it right, you can find a way to make it right. doubling down ain't going to make you any more loved back here in the state of Wisconsin. I can tell you that much.
It's a great take, but how'd we get there?
I just wanted to get there. I think we did a lot of Mac Fun fundraising yesterday. I didn't get all my Halliburton Giannis takes out, so I'm still fired up,
Yeah, I feel like him and his dad, they just lack awareness, right? Like the backtracking apology, and then when the Brewers revoke it, that could have been a really private thing. So actually, now that you guys explain it, I do agree with you that he's probably better off not throwing out that first pitch, and he's going public as a victim that they revoked this from him. Oh, I'm no longer a Brewers fan. It's like, dude, read the room. You're the villain right now. Do not play the victim card and increase that self-awareness a little bit.
Big time. All right, guys, I've got something to run past you. It's a little wacky. So, a couple nights ago, I was driving to a local donation spot as we wrap up our move. We had some things to donate. And I stopped at a red light. And there was a dude in the car to my left. I was in the right lane. He was in the left lane. We were in a 2-lane red light. In the left lane, he's just digging for gold. Right, just picking away at his nose.
Dude, everyone digs for gold in the car. Do not judge this man. I dig for gold in the car every day. It's the safest place to do it.
Ben Bruss, the best interrupter on the planet. I was getting there. I started picking my nose with him.
Oh, out of solidarity? or did it all of a sudden itch?
I'm in the car by myself. I'm with this guy. This is the best place to do it.
No. I got a question. I go, did you guys make eye contact? And you were like, hey, head nod. I'm going to pick my nose too.
I tried to. Right, I had my pinky up there, almost touching my brain, and he never looked my way. But I would have given him a head nod in solidarity. The car is the best place to pick your nose. It's private. You'll never see.
Not that private.
You'll never see these people again now. I'll never see that guy again. If I see him at the bar later, I'm not going to be like, oh, that was the dude picking his nose on Oakland. Right? Like that.
And if you did, you'd probably go up to him and be like, hey, did you pick your nose in your car today? Because I saw you do it, and then I joined you.
The brotherhood created right there.
Brad, do you pick your nose at all?
I mean, when needed. I wouldn't say it's often, but I mean, there's discomfort.
Here's the next
You got to get it. You got to get some stuff out of there.
What do you do with the boogers after you pick them?
Let them fly.
Where do you put them?
It depends where you are. If I'm close to a trash or like a paper that I can get it on, I do try to put it there. But if that's not possible, outside, you can give it a flick.
I let them fly.
You let it flick.
Now, how do you? I've recently heard that there is at an office setting. A friend of mine told me this. In an office setting, somebody just openly picks their nose at their desk, like often, I guess. That's crazy behavior, right? You can't be picking your nose at work.
Of course.
Yeah, it's not professional.
But do you not know where? I'm surprised you didn't want to know where I put my boogers after I pick them.
You fling them, without a doubt.
No, I put them on my hand and let them dry.
Oh, that like turns my stomach over.
I'm starting
Why?
to think there's something wrong with you.
Why would you? No one's making you do that.
That's legitimately.
It's satisfying.
That's psychotic behavior.
Because then it gets hard. Then it gets hard, and then you can flick it.
Well, you can flick it without any time on your hand. You can just rid that moment from your life. You don't need to let it marinate on your hand.
That is so bizarre, and I don't mean that.
When did you start doing this?
I don't know. I also really enjoy those boogies when you can feel them deep.
All right, we're done here.
In the root, and you pull it from out of the root. It's so amazing.
We're done.
That was just ruined quickly.
He is one of the, and again, this is not. I think he's got some wires crossed, man.
He has
what's
some
the
other
concerning
explanation?
behaviors.
I love that you guys are really good at talking crap about me when we're not in the same area.
Ben, I do this every day with you sitting 6 feet from me. What are you talking about?
Maybe you, but Brad definitely feels a little more comfortable.
I think it's the lead chair. I think it's this lead chair I'm sitting
power
in.
trip?
I feel powerful. I feel like I got the ESPN Milwaukee and the Gruber Law Office logo behind me. Usually it's the wonderful 3rd Street Market Hall, but there's something about this chair. There's 6 monitors, 15 buttons. I feel powerful.
Taylor and Waukesha on the Cardinal Stock and Text line. I'm in the car now, and now I'm digging for gold in your honor. Appreciate
Hell
that.
yeah.
That's a true
baby.
That's a true citizen of
Hey,
KBN
let us
Nation.
know whether or not you let it dry in your hand.
800-990-3776. When we were talking about picking the nose in the car, did you indulge? We'd love to know. We're not going to read the text, but we just want to know. Did you indulge in some digging? I definitely will be indulging in the best place on earth during the summer in Wisconsin. That's Road America, America's National Park of Speed. Get out of the house and enjoy the 14-turn, 4-mile-plus road course where the racers have been racing since 1955. It's more than racing. Kids 16 and under get in free. You have a paying adult at the gate. That's what happens. 16 under. That is family, affordable fun. You have a state fair type concession stands. You can camp out all weekend, enjoy the racing. You got the SVRA coming up May 16th through the 18th for a vintage weekend. You come for the experience and you stay for the race. Get your tickets at roadamerica.com. That's roadamerica.com. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to do over-under coming up next. We're going to get some callers here. And then after over-under, Brad, you are going to lead the 3 o'clock segment into Jason Wilde, and that I will take over.
Oh, I'm nervous.
800-990-3776 is the Carpless Talking text line. Let's go with caller 15 and 19 for over-under. Caller 15, you're going to get a category from Alex Strofe. He'll have an over-under as well. You choose over or under. If you believe that Brad and I are going to get 10 guesses and get as many right as possible out of those 10 and hit the over, you take the over. You don't believe in us, you take the under. Caller 19, you are stuck on the other side. That's 800-990-3776. It's over-under on Kyle Brust-Nortman. Next.
This is Kyle Brust-Nortman.
We were going to extend more invites, but I just jumped the gun for some reason at the meeting because I thought I was being like funny and personable, and I just don't know how to read the room. I was like, oh, this guy who doesn't know me, he's going to think it's hilarious. Then I'm with Josh, and I'm saying, hey, Josh, you didn't get the first round invite. Suck it.
In what world would that person find that funny, though?
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Mother's Day is coming soon. Hey, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Ben Brust to help you out with the Welky's Mother's Day giveaway. From now through May 7th, open up the new ESPN Wisconsin app and register for your chance to win. The winner gets a one-night stay at St. Kate the Arts Hotel, a gift card to one of St. Kate's restaurants, and of course, a big bouquet straight from Welky's Milwaukee Florist. The perfect gift for the mom in your life. Register today at the ESPN Wisconsin app. You can also get 10% off at Welky's Milwaukee Florist on any order by mentioning ESPN at checkout. It's the Welky's Mother's Day giveaway on ESPN Milwaukee.
When you don't compromise on the court, you shouldn't compromise off of it either. Lose the calories, not the taste. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri. Copyright 2024.
Hey Bucks fans, enjoy Michelob Ultra at Elwood's Milwaukee, Spanky's Waterford, Oak Barrel Tavern Milwaukee, Camp Bar Wauwatosa, and J&B's Blue Ribbon Milwaukee. That's Michelob Ultra, proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Bucks.
At Potawatomi, where ways to win are endless, another chance to capture epic cash and prizes comes Friday, June 27th. It's the season finale blockbuster drawings. Watch your entries from Enchanted Spins, Unreal Treasures, and Boundless Bounty come together for drawings where $300,000 in cash and prizes is there for the taking. Be there to win your share. June 27th only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. More info online. Must be 21 years old to play.
It's a home run! But wait, is your roof ready for the big league storms? If your roof has more holes than a catcher's mitt, it's time to bring in the pros.
At Avondale Roofing, we've been handling leaks, repairs, and full replacements with major league precision for over 30 years.
Whether it's a quick patch-up or full upgrade, our team steps up to the plate and knocks it out of the park every time.
You're out!
Don't wait till water's in your dugout. Call Avondale Roofing today and keep your home in the win column.
Two Wisconsin icons are teaming up on a reworked classic. Cousin Subs and U-Zingers are proud to introduce the all-new Fried Bologna Sub, featuring U-Zingers fried bologna, bacon, American cheese, onions, pickles, mayo, and mustard on fresh-baked Italian bread. And that's not all. Pair your fried bologna with a creamy cupcake shake topped with whipped cream and rainbow sprinkles. Now that's a better combination. Order both in-store, online, or via the mobile app. Cousin Subs, we believe in better.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your RV, RV wins.
What, are you going to take the RV to the lake or clean out your closet? RV wins! Putting the dishes away or taking the RV camping? RV wins! Cleaning the fridge or taking a trip to the beach? RV wins!
You might want to clean the fridge real quick because, mold.
We clean out the fridge, then take the RV out.
With Progressive, you can bundle your RV with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings in your RV. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states and situations.
Okay, raise your hand if you want to make your life a little bit easier. Great. Now raise your other hand if you like to be comfortable. Perfect. Now that you have both hands raised, imagine putting on your shoes. And that, folks, right there is your answer to an easier, more comfortable life. Go hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins. This is footwear you don't need your hands to put on. They can be raised in the air, and you can just step it and go. Why don't you experience what people can't stop talking about? Life-changing Skechers Slip-ins. Get your Slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Sunny skies, ideal temps, great food, and plenty of live music and events. That's summer in Minnesota. Enjoy the unmatched beauty of the North Woods or the excitement of our famous state fair. And with nearly 500 golf courses scattered in the land of 10,000 lakes, there's no better place to hit the range than Minnesota. Come discover all the things in Minnesota that make the heartbeat of a community and the heartbeat of culture. Visit exploreminnesota.com for more.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Miss Polly side, come on over tonight. Told me you don't know your feelings. Can we focus on mine? I think I'm
Ben Bruss live from the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios. While Brad Nortman's getting ready to host and lead host Kyle Brust Nortman at the top of the hour here. Alex Strofe is running the show. UKBN Nation can see their new haircuts, their buzz cuts, both Strofe and Nortman on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison. But right now, it's time to play one of our favorite games before we watch Brad sink in the ocean. Over under.
Will the guys hit the over or will they disappoint? It's time for Over Under on Kyle Bruston Nortman.
I think Ben forgets that Brad literally brings the show in every Tuesday at 3 o'clock.
I do.
Yeah, bringing in the show, but setting up a segment, like hitting the phone number. You know it's not easy, Strofe. Like you know it just doesn't happen.
It's a little bit more.
You need reps. Yes. This is his first rep. We're just happening to do it live on air instead of like in a recording studio testing it, which I love so much more.
I also love it. Put the pressure on. Rip the Band-Aid off. Here
Bring
we go.
it on.
All right, boys. Caller 15 today. Lasagna in Milwaukee, which is still the funniest name in the world. No offense, Lasagna. Caller 19, Andy in Hartford. Lasagna in Milwaukee, not a believer in you today. He's on the under. Andy in Hartford, not by choice, is on the over. I'm going to give you the category. Then I need to know who my final answerer is, and then I will start the clock. Today's category, I'm looking for the top 10 points per game leaders this NBA postseason thus far. Everybody falls into this category, but just to clarify, they need a minimum of 4 games played, but everybody on this list has played at least 4 games. I have the over-under high today. It's 8.5. You need 9 out of 10 to win.
What?
Especially the postseason, because weird things happen.
Yeah, but it balances
round.
out after a couple games. You'll get most of these names, I promise. Who wants to be our final answer?
I'll take it for you, Brad.
All right, your
Thanks,
time starts
Ben.
in 3, 2, 1.
Well, I believe Giannis is number 1.
Giannis final.
That is correct. Giannis is number 1, 33 flat.
Shea?
Shea final.
He is number 6, 27.8 points per game in their sweep.
I believe Steph is having a hell of a series, but they just got blown out. I don't know what it does to his average.
What about like Luka?
We very easily.
I know that the Lakers just got bounced, but he just walks points.
I know, but he didn't put up a ton of points yesterday. I know I'm overthinking this because it's average.
What about like?
Let me go to series by series here. What about Cleveland? Is it Donovan Mitchell?
He'd be the leading scorer. But like they're so
Donovan
balanced.
Mitchell final.
Donovan Mitchell, number 21. Brad makes a good point there. There's your hint.
What about the Celtics?
2 minutes.
Jason Tatum, final.
Yeah, he's number 2, 31.3 points per game.
Wow. How about Anthony Edwards?
It's probably Ant, final.
That is correct. He's number 7, 26.8 points per game. You've got 4. You need 5 more.
Jokic?
Kawhi? Kawhi, final.
And that's a loss. Yeah, Kawhi, the first name off the list.
Wow.
25.2 points per game.
Well, that was a shellacking.
I guess Jokic, obviously.
Yep, Jokic is number 10, 25.4.
Is Luka on there?
Oh, yeah, he's on there. He's number 3. 30.2 points per game.
Was Steph?
He was not, no. I feel like you're missing some obvious names here, but you guys lost.
Jalen Brunson?
Yeah, Jalen Brunson's number 4, 29.8.
How about...
give us a hint.
2 Magic and 1 all-time great.
LeBron James.
Yep, he's number 9.
I don't know anybody on the Magic. Not one person. Not one.
Well, they're the only 2 players that score points for the Magic. Benny, who are they?
Franz Wagner?
And?
I know that name. Michigan guy, right?
Yes. Who's the last one?
Paolo Banchero.
Oh, I guess I do know those names. I just couldn't pull them from true recollection.
That was why do you think 8.5 was fair?
Hand up. I felt like Giannis, Tatum, Doncic, Brunson were all gimmies. I thought SGA, Edwards, LeBron, and Nikola Jokic were all gimmies. That's 8.
I mean, now that you say it, yeah, those are pretty clear-cut superstars.
But you got to remember, there's so much star power.
I forgot about Steph. I forgot about Kawhi, who's had a nice series against Denver. I probably should have made that about 7.5 or 6.5. So that's on me.
Wow.
I hate losing this. It sends me into a bad mood.
You guys have not lost in a while, in my defense.
Yeah, I know. Maybe we need to be humble a little bit. As Giannis said, we need to be humble in victory and in loss.
Yes.
And I will be taking the wise words of Giannis. And on the Carbless Talking text line, you can get at us. But Brad, you can tell us about why it's so great.
Oh, I would love to. It's a thirsty Thursday after all. So that means when I finally get home to the Nortman estate, in the Nortman fridge, go down there and you crack open a Carb Bliss. Now, you guys hear me talk all about what I love about it, trying to cultivate a lifestyle that, has a little bit more guilt-free nature to it. But when you really think about it, it's pretty incredible. Carb Bliss is just 100 calories, no sugar, no carbs, no gluten. That way you can enjoy it without that guilt that is normally associated with so many other beverages, and a ready-to-drink cocktail that Carb Bliss is with countless flavors. The vodka flavors, the tequila flavors, the rum. There's the classic cocktails and the fruit that I love, but the new flavors of 2025. It's the Tropical Bliss Variety Pack. You got the blood orange, watermelon, grapefruit, and I'm blanking on the other one. And the mango 4-pack, the watermelon. Now, the watermelon, that was it. The watermelon they just made into a 4-pack.
Say raspberry?
It's so bad. Raspberry, Ben. I love so many flavors, it's hard to keep track of them. But the watermelon 4-pack, by popular demand, they wanted the 4-pack out there. So there's so many reasons for you to go ahead and grab a Carb Bliss, whether it be now, especially bonfires at night, by the pool, celebrating the Brewers as you tailgate. There's always a reason to grab a Carb Bliss. So if you're like me and you want to discover why Bliss is more, crack open a Carb Bliss with me tonight.
Ben Brust, Brad Nortman, no Kyle Wallace, Alex Rofert on the show. UKBN Nation should be ready to go on the Carbless Talking text line 800-990-3776 because Mr. Brad Nortman will be bringing us in the 3 o'clock hour, the second hour of the show, and he'll be leading that segment until we get to Jason Wilde at 3:15. In 2 minutes, Brad Nortman's debut as a lead host on ESPN Wisconsin is next.
Let's talk about home turf. Your lawn is a reflection of your pride, hard work, and even competitive spirit. If you want a yard that makes the neighbors stop and stare, you need the right plan. That's where Weedman Law Care comes in. Weedman's lawn care program is kid and pet friendly, uses golf course quality fertilizer, and has an effective weed treatment to dominate any issue. Get a free quote of Weedman's winning formula for your yard at weedman.com and get 50% off your first treatment. That's weedman.com. Weedman for the win.
Biz Expo is May 13th at Brookfield Conference Center. Learn from the experts at the strategy seminars and keynote presentation on resilient leadership. Connect with business leaders and customers at Biz Expo May 13th. Register at biztimes.com/bizexpo.
Hey, Wisconsin sports fans, come join Kyle Brust and Norman live at Third Space Brewing, Milwaukee's happy place, on Friday, May 2nd. And if you show up in your Wisconsin baseball gear, you'll get $2 off pints during the show. Sip on fresh brews like Happy Place Midwest Pale Ale, grab some food, and hang with the crew. Stick around for Under the Bridge Thursdays with live local bands, food trucks, and good vibes. Not drinking? Try Headspace Sparkling Water by Third Space, infused with hops, fruit, and hemp-derived THC. Catch ESPN Milwaukee live at Third Space Brewing just west of downtown Milwaukee on Friday, May 2nd.
No shortcuts, no compromises, just the job done right. At Exterior Pros, we don't just meet expectations, we crush them. Every nail, every window, every shingle is a step toward your home's next chapter. From the moment we start until that final reveal, we're committed to making your home better than ever. Quality products and craftsmanship you can count on. Go to the pros for your next project. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274.
Station updates, show clips, and your place to interact with us every single day just by scrolling through your feed. Follow along on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at ESPN Milwaukee.
Marquette Hall of Famer Tony Smith here. You're listening to the home of Marquette basketball. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle Brust and Northman, KBN on ESPN Wisconsin. Here's Kyle Wallace, Ben Brust, and Brad Northman.
Oh, that's right. You are kicking it with KBN. I am Brad Northman in the lead host chair at the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All ESPN Milwaukee studios. Far away down I-94 is Ben Brust in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios. Distance makes the heart grow fonder, am I right, Ben? And finally, Alex Strofe on the ones and twos behind the glass here with me in Milwaukee.
DJ Strofe.
DJ Strofe, indeed. And you, KBN Nation, can be a part of our conversation by simply calling or texting to the Carbless Talk and Text line. That's 800-990-3776. Less is more with Carbless. You already know that, though, KBN Nation. 800-990-3776. And, we talk a lot about Giannis, the Milwaukee Bucks. That feels like it is the certainly headline of the day, but we can't lose track of an important deadline for the NFL season. That has come and went just now with the fifth-year option on first-round draft picks. So if we remember, Goody's 2022 first-round draft picks, Quay Walker, Devontae Wyatt, right? Household names on that defense that Goody loves so much to invest in. But right now is the time where you start to wonder, are they a part of the Packers' long-term plan? So, Ben Brust, I ask you, and I wonder, as you think about Quay Walker, who Rob Demovsky of ESPN, who joins our show on Wednesdays at 3:30 after Hear Brad Out, we know that the Packers already initiated Devontae Wyatt's fifth-year option. But just this, an hour ago, right before the deadline, quote from Rob Demovsky, the Packers are not picking up the fifth-year option on Quay Walker. However, as GM Brian Gutekunst said earlier this offseason, they would like to sign him to a contract extension, perhaps even before the season begins. Walker remains very much in the long-term plans. Now, Ben, I don't know what you think about when you hear these names and you're reminded of Goody's history of first-round draft picks. But I ask you, when you think of these two guys, Quay Walker,
what do you ask me? You've said you're going to ask me something three straight times, and I haven't been asked yet.
Like I said, if I ask you, do you think that Goody is focused on bringing these guys back for the long term because they're objectively really good players, or because the Packers need them basically to fill out their roster?
Goody's not going to change the way he's doing things. This is consistent with what he's done. He continues to try and invest in guys where he has them in a short-term scenario. They're not going to have them long-term contracts. Even though they're not picking up the fifth-year option on Quay Walker, it doesn't mean he doesn't see him a part of at least next year and give him a chance to prove his worth. And if he does, the contract will be set up for him to have another year, and that would be year 6 with the Green Bay Packers. But as it pertains to first-round draft picks, whether you feel gucky or not about who these players are and if the first fifth-year option is getting picked up or not, I'm giving him a pass for a little bit. Take that back. He doesn't get a pass unless Matthew Golden strikes as a stud. If you have Jordan Love and go through a drought of those first-round picks that haven't produced the way that we've wanted to, he's drafted well enough to put this team in a spot where everyone's feeling confident about this Packers team heading into 2025, and they have a chance to take the Lions. The Lions aren't even favored. Like, the Lions are favored, but they're not minus money. You don't have to lay money for the Lions to win the division. Goody's done a good enough job where they can take over the division based off what he's done as a general manager. So I'm not going to get bogged down in the weeds of who's a fifth-year option, who's getting extended. If the roster is good enough and Matthew Golden is a guy, we can start eliminating conversations that we're questioning in the offseason. Goody's acting with urgency. He beeped off the offensive line. He brought in a receiver that can be a number 1 wide receiver. I'm not going to sit here and worry about Quay Walker and Devontae Wyatt. If they think they're a part of the plan, we have to trust this plan. And until they don't make the playoffs, how am I not going to sit here and be like, oh, it's a bad move by Goody?
Ben Bruss focused on what Goody has done recently, which is put together a capable roster. And I agree with you. If they find a way to have this draft pick, particularly Matthew Golden, the first round hit, then start to go down that forgiveness path for Brian Gutekunst.
Brad, would you trade anything for Giannis?
Oh, wow. You know what? Ben Brust is trying to derail the segment, but I'm going to keep it focused here on the Green Bay Packers and the Carbless Talking text line, 800-990-3776, because we do have someone on that talking text line. Ron in the Key, URN KBN.
Brad, you just are doing this for the first time, and you're already better than Ben.
It took him 80 years to get into the segment, Ron. I was waiting to answer the question.
I'm not going to lie. There's a lot going on in my brain.
Well, here's the thing, Brad. We could tell there was a lot going on in your brain because you let Ben go for 2.5 minutes uninterrupted, which he's never let you do in 1.5 years of the show.
I wanted him to start the show, and I was like, Ben, you're not saying anything. And it took me until he said, Ben, I wonder, for the third time without asking me a question that I broke. I was like, are you going to ask me the damn question? Everyone's on pins and needles.
800-990-3776. Give me your grade for how I'm doing with leading the show, or we want to hear about your thoughts on Devontae Wyatt and Quay Walker as far as Goody's first-round success rate. Because I look at this and I think to myself, you know what? Goody's track record of first-round draft picks, this brings it back up to the surface because we're trying to decide, Quay Walker, Devontae Wyatt, where do they fit in the picture? Like, we know those names here in the state of Wisconsin, but I would guess if you go to ask people in Detroit, Philadelphia, these are not household names. These are not living up to their first-round draft pick expectations. So I'm a little bit closer to you, Ben, when I think Goody's starting to shift that, change that, and he's filling the roster full of guys that are young and talented. But it's just a reminder to me that this team is not where they are because they're not where they want to be because these first-round draft picks haven't reached the expectation of a general first-round draft pick.
Yeah, but I have a problem with what you're saying because, say you're the Lions and you gave a fifth-year option to Jamison Williams and Aiden Hutchinson. Mm-hmm. They've been in a position earlier in the draft to score players that they're going to want to give a fifth-year option to. You know, when you're talking about Quay Walker and Devontae Wyatt, they were later in the draft. Like they weren't like if you want to have a gripe, have it with Lucas Van Ness. Say that the 13th pick was a disaster, but in terms of the rest of the roster that they've had first-round draft picks with, I don't know. I just feel like you're being completely unfair to the way that they've been put in a position to draft. How many times does somebody in the 20s to 30s in a first round actually turn out to be an Aiden Hutchinson? It doesn't happen. So for you to say looking around the league, I guarantee we could look around at the league at many other teams and say, they didn't pick up the fifth-year option. I wonder why. And I wonder what your rebuttal is because I know Alex Strofe was giving it to you in your ear.
No, he wasn't giving it to me. Just helped me with a couple of structural things, which I appreciate. But to me, it's not necessarily a 1 year off thing. It's the trend that we see out of Goody. That, you know what? If 1 year, yes, they pick further back in their rounds, which, you know, in 2022, when Quay Walker was drafted, he was 22nd. Devontae Wyatt was 28. That's further back in the first round. So I would expect Aiden Hutchinson, Jamison Williams, who are 2 and 13 respectively, to be able to perform better. But it's year after year after year. It's Rashawn Gary. It's LVN. It's these guys. Even if you are drafting further further and back, it seems like the Rams and the Chiefs and the Eagles and maybe not the Lions. Most of their draft picks now were earlier, but plenty of teams continue to be further back in the draft and be able to land.
Jalen Carter was selected 10th by the Eagles because he fell. Again, that's another contributor that's a big part of their team because it was early in the draft. It's hard for me to sit here and pick at the first-round picks of Goody. Do I want more success? Yes, but does he want him part of the roster because he believes in them? Probably a little bit biased because he did pick them, but at the end of the day, the defense was top 10 in points. Why am I going to sit here and complain when I got Jason Wilde telling me that Quay Walker, even though he wasn't getting his fifth-year option, is going to be asked to have a contract where he can make more over the next 2 years if he performs, even though you have to pay him top dollar of $16 million, which he would have been owed if he picked up a fifth-year option. So you have Quay Walker, who had a good end of the year, according to Jason Wilde, and people are high on him. And Devontae Wyatt has shown flashes. What are you going to do right now?
Ben,
not give him a fifth-year option? Kenny Clark might not be here. You need to make sure you have some guys in the defense.
They're going into their fourth season. At this point, a lot of these players are who they are. So you're saying that you're generally okay with the first-round history of Brian Gutekunst?
Well, it's not that I'm okay with it. It's just this is the cards that have been dealt. You can't get every need in the draft.
I struggle with bringing up a guy like Jalen Carter because next year at this very time, we are going to be having the same exact conversation about one Lucas Van Ness, which is the highest draft pick he has made since Rashawn Gary. And he was, the 13th overall pick? Mm-hmm. So...
I brought that up. That's the only thing that I'm not going to argue for. The rest, I can be like, well, what do you want him? What do you want these guys to be? All-stars and all-pros within 4 years?
It's first-round trends that he hasn't been able to hit on, and he's made up for that with nailing Jordan Love in the first round, that's for sure. But then second through fifth round, let's call it, he has cooked. But it's just a day like this reminds me that the Packers are not true Super Bowl contenders today because more of those first-round draft picks hasn't hit in the same way that you'd want to expect one to hit, and two, other teams have had theirs hit.
Rashawn Gary's a Pro Bowler.
Look. Yeah, I was going to say, you mentioned Rashawn Gary. Forget the Pro Bowl. He did enough to earn a second contract. Obviously, he didn't perform as much as we would want to off of injury. That was a risk that Goody took. But before that, he was ascending into a position where it did make sense. I think a lot of people nobody complained about signing Rashawn Gary to an extension. Over to the KBN.
Hey, that's my job. Over to the KBN Sports Desk with Alex Strofe.
Per Shams Charania of ESPN, after conversations with Tyrese Halliburton's father, John, in the Indiana Pacers front office, John Halliburton will not attend the team's home nor road games for the foreseeable future, a Pacers spokesperson has told ESPN.
Wow. How about that? I like to see a little bit of justice being handed down for someone who can just waltz on the court. We've talked about this earlier in the week, but I don't care who you are. If you are basically a fan, even if you are a blood relative of it, any other fan would experience at least the same punishment. But you know who is going to be able to land this plane for us for the Green Bay Packers? That's our friend Jason Wilde, who always is with who is with Wilde and Tausch 9 to noon. Our own Alex Strofe was with him this morning, filling in for our boy Old T. But we're going to get to him right after the break, but not before Ben tells us a little bit about what we're doing tomorrow.
We're going to be at Third Space Brewing Company, and I cannot wait to be there live and in person as Alex Strofe really set me up with some success here, as I don't believe I have the talking points for this.
Oh, you do?
So if you could help me out here, Strofe, that would be wonderful. I do. Coming out with us at Third Space Brewing Company, Friday, May 2nd, we're broadcasting from the tap room, and if you wear your Wisconsin baseball gear, you know, the team that we all root for, you're going to get $2 off pints during the show. Sip a Happy Place Pale Ale. Grab some food and stick around for Under the Bridge Thursdays with live bands, food trucks, and good vibes all summer. Been there with my fiance before. It's a great spot. And if you need that outdoor space, that indoor space, and a fun place to bring people in Milwaukee, you know where to go. It's Third Space Brewing. That's Third Space Brewing just west of downtown Milwaukee. Be there with Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. And if you're not drinking, try the Headspace sparkling water infused with hops, fruit, and hemp-derived THC. That's Third Space Brewing Company. Come hang out with us, Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, tomorrow.
Dave from Aaron, Diana from Aguanago, thank you for the kind text messages. As much as I loved being the lead host of Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, I gladly hand that role back off to Ben Brust on the other side of the break.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
What are you going to do with the video?
It was going to be on Snapchat if I got the pick right.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Well, we start things off with a crash. Northbound 41, right where 41 and 45 split off. It is off on the right shoulder, so that's something to keep in mind if you're heading through there. Volume's relatively light, so you wouldn't see too much of an issue. Southbound 41 is backing up from before Good Hope Road all the way down past Capitol Drive. Northbound heavy from Watertown Plank Road up past Capitol, almost to Hampton. Northbound 43 slowing from Fond du Lac Avenue to Keith. Southbound is backing up through the Marquette all the way down past a disabled vehicle that is off on the left shoulder at Beecher. That's causing a little bit of a hiccup there. Once you get past that, you should be good to go. On the westbound side, 94 slowing down from about 35th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. And checking the TMJ4 Storm King forecast tonight, mostly cloudy skies, a slight chance for a shower, a low of 43. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, a few scattered showers, a high of 54. Weather's brought to you by National Liquor Mart at 16th and National in Milwaukee, packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirit deals in town. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Station updates, show clips, and your place to interact with us every single day just by scrolling through your feed. Follow along on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at ESPN Milwaukee.
Minnesota is home to 64 state parks and 6 national park sites. Whether you enjoy fishing or paddling, it's time to explore the breathtaking views of Voyageurs National Park. Celebrate Voyageurs National Park's 50th anniversary, and if you're lucky, view the Northern Lights. Explore millions of acres of pristine natural areas in Minnesota. Visit exploreminnesota.com to embark on a journey to the many nationally recognized Minnesota sites.
As clutch of a player to ever play basketball.
It's Dame time on Season 4 of Behind the Bucks on Bucks Plus.
This year I was like, I need to impose myself more on this team.
Explore Damian Lillard's journey to becoming a top 75 player in NBA history.
That's what really had me feeling like this is going to be great.
Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and H&R benefits consultant. Find Bucks Plus on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Great impressions will exceed your expectations. Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
At Great Impressions Graphics and Printing, they've been proudly serving the community for over 26 years. From their location at the corner of 54th and Burleigh in Milwaukee, their dedication to quality and customer satisfaction has made them a trusted name in printing and design. Great Impressions offer a wide range of services, including banners, posters, yard signs, business cards, programs, and postcards. Plus, they specialize in custom apparel printing, perfect for family reunions, sports outings, business promotions, and more. For your next project, visit greatimpress.com. That's greatimpress.com. Great Impressions. They're here when you need them.
Great impressions.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
There's a little group think going on there. I'm not going to disagree.
Three-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year.
He is a good general manager. Anybody who disputes that, they have other issues.
Holding everybody accountable.
I'm not sure that was good enough for us to even play on our show.
Jason Wilde is on Kyle Brust and Nortman.
Do you want it? 'Cause these dancing feet don't cry to the rhythm they cry for you. And every Saturday night that you ain't keep my tears blue.
I'm Ben Brust hanging out in Madison today at the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios. You got Brad Nortman and Alex Strofe holding it down at the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios. But as we do it Thursday around this time, we have Jason Wilde join us on Kyle Brust and Nortman. Jason, how are you?
I'm great. Strofe looks great. What a great day.
Yeah, Strofe, I'm so glad you got to see him. Did you see Bradley Nortman also went buzz cut?
I have not seen that. No, I had someone send me a picture of Strofe. I've not been on my social channels, so I've not seen Brad's buzz cut.
Yeah, Jason, if you just Google my team pictures from back in my playing days, that's basically what it looks like now.
Where it's like square, is it squared off, like it makes you look like a blockhead, or is it just a clean, rounded, shaved head?
This is pretty clean and pretty tight. We haven't reached blockhead. Blockhead will come in probably 2 weeks when it starts to grow like a chia pet, straight out, and there will be probably some weeks of awkward phase. But we do it for the kids, Jason. We do it for the kids. But we're still waiting on Ben Brust for his head shaving, though. So feel free to apply a little pressure.
Well, so I am curious now. I don't want to put anybody's business out on the street, but obviously Strofe has a lovely girlfriend. You have Lexi, your amazing wife.
I love Lexi.
Ben has Elizabeth, who's amazing. Was there any discussion with significant others about this endeavor? And did you require any sort of clearance from them in order to do what you are doing or need to do in Ben's case?
Well, it's funny you bring that up.
Yes, Strofe, you wanna let him know what the message was?
Yeah, so we stumbled into this accidentally while on the air. So I shot my girlfriend a text and I said, "Hey, just so you know, this is likely coming." And she was not thrilled at first, but her reaction to me today was, "Oh, it's cute." So I am in the clear.
Clearly
now.
not a relationship based on honesty, Jason.
And
maybe she was just pleasantly surprised.
I think she was, as was I.
And before we get to the real headliner with the Brust household, Lexi was taken by surprise. Luckily, her grandmother, who's a faithful listener, gave her a heads up, so it wasn't a complete shock walking through the door. She said, "Your hair better grow before the baby shower end of June, because there will be pictures involved for you." And then she eventually relented and said, "I feel like I'm in a time warp, and it's 2015, and we live in Charlotte, North Carolina."
And that gives her really bad PTSD. You know, Brad didn't give her a car. She had to walk around Charlotte for the first 2 years they lived there.
Yeah, Jason, I've ever told you that. So the first good 18 months of living in Charlotte, I bought a car, but I was like, I'm not buying another car. So I basically would either have Lexi need to drop me off at the facility, or she'd be without a car for the day. And this is before Uber. We lived downtown, so I'm like, you can walk, Lexi. So yeah, that was a very interesting logistical 18 months right there.
Have you ever seen a Packer player be dropped off in the back of the parking lot by their significant other and get picked up from practice every day?
Maybe I'm ready. I'm ready to get picked up.
I have not. They left that out of that Charlotte magazine story, if I recall. They didn't say that your crappy husband made you walk around town because he wouldn't get a second vehicle for you.
Yeah, that one guy, we edited that out. We scrubbed that out. We were trying. It was a public image piece, Jason.
Clearly.
And for those who missed it, The reason why Strofe and Brad Nortman have buzz cuts is we helped raise over $5,000 yesterday for the MAC Fund for Gabe Neitzel, Stephen Watson, and Greg Matzik Ringer event. The MAC Fund does amazing stuff to help childhood cancer. So my buzz will be on Monday, allegedly. Here's what the Brust family statement came out today with. I'm getting a buzz cut on Monday.
Your face is peeling.
What do you think?
I just don't understand why it had to happen before our wedding. Like, can we do this on August 23rd? Why does it have to be on Monday?
Because we're raising money for childhood cancer.
That's great. You committed to it. You're going to do it, but it's going to happen after our wedding.
It's going to?
I mean, I don't know how much say I have, but I would prefer that. Everyone on the show could, get aligned with me and agree that after our wedding is probably best.
What the heck do I do, Jason?
All right. First of all, I would like to state for the record that your soon-to-be wife is amazing. I am a huge fan of her. This company would not run without her. I also would say that I personally, if I was getting married, I would not have entered into this agreement without a timeline involved. I am on her team I am 1,000,000% on her team. Here is how I think we can satisfy both sides of the coin. I think.
I don't know if that's possible, Jason. I don't know. I'm willing to hear you out, but people are looking for the payoff. But I'm looking for any ideas here.
So I think I have the solution. What were the other options, or what were the other things that were discussed besides the buzz cut?
Well, I have to wear whitey tighties for a week. I have to mow the biggest.
Yeah, that's been agreed to. Also, okay. What else?
Biggest donation, I said I would mow their lawn, and it happened to be a landscaper who has 2 acres.
That's awesome. Couldn't love that more.
That's so good.
I knew you were going to love that one. We did say that. He texted back in, and he said, in shorts or pants, please no whitey tighties.
Okay, good. I like him already. Okay. Have you agreed to anything else?
That's it. I did the Brazilian wax from last year, and I over-leveraged myself this year. This buzz cut is giving me a little anxiety.
Well, so here's the thing. So, Strofe, it was either a buzz cut or an earring, right?
Mm-hmm. That is correct. Yes, it was between earrings or a buzz cut, and I went the route of which one would affect me long-term the least.
Well, that would leave the buzz cut and the earring after the wedding, and then people get 2 things out of you, and it delays the one part of the equation so you can look halfway presentable at your wedding. And the earring, I think you should be required to do both the bottom of the lobe and one of those like upper in the cartilage
Jason,
area.
you were an earring guy at one point, weren't you?
Yeah, I was going to say, I know you're an earring guy, but
I was an earring guy. I am not currently an earring guy.
Yeah. And so now you're living vicariously through me to become the earring guy?
No, I'm trying to solve problems here. I mean, you could, if you play this right, you get the buzz cut, and then you get the earring, and then like Halloween's not that far away. You could go as Mr. Clean then for Halloween.
It's pretty brilliant.
Like you're kind of all kinds of things are coming together. It's like perfect. But I think I am very much having gotten married myself a long time ago and knowing how important that is. I don't know if that's a cool. Do you have did you lose track of your hot buttons again? There had to be something better than cool. But I gotta say, I cannot understand, even for a great charitable cause, agreeing to this given the timing of your wedding. Like I
Thank you for hindsight is 2020, Jason Willoughby. I haven't been thinking about that the last 24 hours at all.
Why didn't you think of it? My question is like, did this not cross your? Like,
I get so wrapped into the money we're raising for childhood cancer that I just I'm like, yeah.
I think there's ways to. You could probably turn this into an even greater fundraising opportunity for the MAC Fund by saying, I'm going to honor my amazing soon-to-be wife and respect her wishes so I can look presentable in our wedding photos. So we're going to postpone this. And as penance to you, our valued over $5,000 donors, I'm willing to add to the things that I'm required to do as penance for pushing back the haircut. And I think you could even get some more donations out of the deal. You stay on the good side of your wife. This is, again, you can take my advice, you can ignore my advice. I'm just saying, there's opportunity is knocking here and the opportunity to stay. I don't think you want to, and I know you guys have been together for quite a while, but I still don't think you want to start your actual marriage off on the wrong foot of being in the doghouse right from the jump.
Well, let's just say this, Jason. KBN Nation is listening and have opinions on the Carbless Talking text line 800-990-3776. So I will see the reaction to the proposed ideas that you have given us here on Kyle Brust-Nortman. I do want to ask one question, though, before we let you go.
Good.
I think
that's a good idea.
I think it's important. Before the draft, and to me, it's less to do about like the draft, right? It's just like I just want to know if anything has changed holistically in your mindset. Part of it has to do with them using 3 picks in the first 3 rounds on offense. We asked you about 2-3 weeks ago if it is more likely that the offense or defense has the opportunity to be top 5. You had said the defense, and as I look at the defense, I still question that a little bit because I like the cornerbacks. I don't love the cornerbacks. The defensive line is a question mark. I like the potential of the linebackers, and I love the safeties. How does that equal top 5 versus the offense having less holes?
Well, first of all, I would say the sum is greater, or the group is greater than the sum of its parts, or whatever the heck that saying is on defense. Secondly, it's great that they've added 2 rookie wide receivers. We have seen the inconsistency that comes with being a rookie at the wide receiver position. I love the Matthew Golden pick. I am intrigued by the Savion Williams pick. But if you watch more of Savion Williams, there's some inconsistency in his game. So let's hold the phone on comparing him to Deebo Samuel just yet. I do believe that their pass rush is going to improve. I do believe in their coordinator in a big way. I do believe in their corners, and now, news comes that maybe somehow, some way, there'll be a reconciliation. Although I know, Rob's comments to that, people are kind of conveniently forgetting that he also said that release or trade are also still on the table, but people are getting their hopes up that Jair is going to stay. They got one of, if not the best safeties in the league. And I am, even though he did not get the 5th-year option today, I am a big believer in the Quay Walker, Edgerrin Cooper combination. I think those guys have a chance to be really special. I think Quay Walker had turned the corner before his ankle injury in Seattle in December, and I think he's going to be, not that he wasn't motivated before, but I think, they say they want him on a long-term extension. They didn't want to do the 5th-year option. So I think he's going to rise to that occasion and continue to grow and become a much better player than the guy we saw the first 2 years. And you put it all together, and I think that's a pretty good defense. Look, if their pass rush is able to improve from within, and it damn well should, considering the number of first-round picks invested into it, and then they're getting something out of Sorrell and they're getting something out of Oliver, and they still have Kingsley Enagbare, who's as underrated as anybody on their roster. I think their defense could still be really good. And I want to see what Jordan Love does in a pivotal year 3 before I'm willing to say that I'm more confident in the offensive group than I am the defensive group.
All fair points. Love revisiting after, a lot of people can get wrapped up in the emotion of the NFL draft. That's Jason Wilde, everybody, with life-saving, problem-solving skills here on Kyle Brust Norman.
How is the Carbless Talking text line leaning right now? Is it leaning? Because to me, the people that love you certainly want you to be happy at your wedding. The people who don't like you would love to see you. It inflicted on you that you have even more things done to you. What's the word?
This is the one that I will never be. Kyle Wallace, halfway Kyle Wallace, not going all the way into Lake Michigan when we had to go underwater, not finishing the whole Brazilian wax, stopping when I did the entire thing. I can't be a fraud. All it took was Ben is now a Kyle, and then it throws anything of my marriage out the window, and it says buzz cut on Monday.
I think you're getting bad advice, bro.
Jason.
And I look forward to you acknowledging that someday down the road.
Real quick, before we let you go.
I will give you the happy Gomer. I was wrong. You were right, I'm sure. But I can't be a Kyle.
We signed up Kyle without him knowing. We just volunteered him to do this. Wear Bears apparel for a week and paint his nails Bears colors.
Like Caleb Williams.
I love that. Count me in on that. Yeah, I love that. Does he have to dress that way to the wedding then?
No, he does not. I want him to wear that green suit that he was wearing up in Lambeau Field like a first-round draft pick.
That was tight. Yeah, that was nice.
Unless that outclasses
me.
Maybe you should go take it easy.
I'm very concerned about your matrimonial situation, though. I'm going to say that for the record. So, good luck.
I'm glad it's on record. Thank you, Jason Wilde. Listen to Jason on Wilde and Tausch 9 to noon across these various stations, and do what I do, and Brad does, and Kyle does, and what KBN Nation is doing, and that's having Weed Man come to your house. Make the neighbors stop and stare because they have lush green, weed-free stuff that is going to make your lawn beautiful. The fertilizer is golf course quality, and they use effective weed control. All part of Weedman's winning game plan. It is kid and pet friendly. I can't reiterate that enough. Having a child and having 2 dogs, it was the number one thing I wanted on the list, and now I see the fruits of the labor. The first 2 stops that they've made at the Brust household to the grass being greener than anybody else on our yard. It's a no-brainer. Weedman.com. Get 50% off your first treatment. Half off at Weedman.com. Weedman for the win. I have a proposition. It's probably used incorrectly. I have something to share with KBN Nation. Next.
This is Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN.
Brad.
Kyle.
I know you.
Kyle.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Well, we do have an issue on eastbound 94, just past 25th Street, almost into the Marquette. We've got a crash. It is off on the right shoulder, so watch out for that. No major delays past it, but the westbound side sure is slowing down from 25th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Northbound 41, heavy from Watertown Plank Road up past Capitol. Southbound is going to be slow from just before Good Hope Road all the way down to Capitol Drive. And then we've got delays southbound 43 from Capitol all the way down through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge down past Lincoln. There is a broken down vehicle on the left shoulder that seems to be causing a little bit of a distraction for folks heading through that area. Traffic is brought to you by Third Ward Beer Garden. Experience Milwaukee's favorite beer garden, open Wednesday through Sunday with live music Thursday through Saturday. Good times and great vibes await at Third Ward Beer Garden. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, mostly cloudy skies, a slight chance for a shower, a low of 43. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, few scattered showers, a high of 54. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Hey, Wisconsin sports fans, come join Kyle Brust and Norman live at Third Space Brewing, Milwaukee's happy place, on Friday, May 2nd. And if you show up in your Wisconsin baseball gear, you'll get $2 off pints during the show. Sip on fresh brews like Happy Place Midwest Pale Ale, grab some food, and hang with the crew. Stick around for Under the Bridge Thursdays with live local bands, food trucks, and good vibes. Not drinking? Try Headspace Sparkling Water by Third Space, infused with hops, fruit, and hemp-derived THC. Catch ESPN Milwaukee live at Third Space Brewing just west of downtown Milwaukee on Friday, May 2nd.
Hurt by a truck? Call Gruberg offices. One call, that's all.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Ben Bruss talking about our friends at Road America, America's National Park of Speed. Get out of your house this summer and go to Road America, located conveniently between Green Bay and Milwaukee and Elkhart Lake. Come see a race at the legendary 4-mile, 14-turn road circuit that has hosted some of the best races since 1955. Spring Vintage Weekend with the SVRA is up next on May 16th through the 18th. Camp on site all weekend and enjoy free admission for kids 16 and under with a paying adult at the gate. Come for the experience and stay for the race. Get your tickets at roadamerica.com.
I've had a number of surgeries, and frankly, I don't have time to rehab a surgery and an operation at this point in my life. I didn't want to take time off my kids' activities.
That's why former college and pro football player Bobby Carpenter turned to QC Kinetics. We couldn't be happier saving our patients like him from operating rooms and long recoveries.
I've been able to resume like normal activity for me, which is a lot of running. It's a lot of workouts. I've been very, very blessed with how it's been able to hold up.
For so long, patients have accepted surgery as the only solution. But with new technologies, the medical professionals at QC Kinetics use regenerative treatments, your body's own biologics, to help heal and restore knees, hips, shoulders, and backs.
I actually ran into a friend of mine over at our golf course, and he had his knee done. It felt so well. He'd got his shoulder done. He goes, I can't thank you enough. He had heard the commercial on the air, and so it's feeling great.
Find out how you can avoid surgery and finally get relief. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so that you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just for you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today.
I feel so stuck.
The Veterans Crisis Line is here for you. Dial 988, then press 1 to call.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
You never say hey or remember my name, and it's probably cause you think you're cool with me.
IKEA has wonderful financing options for all of you. Options to make improving your home easy no matter where you are at in life. The IKEA Visa credit card. 5% back on IKEA purchases. $25 off your first IKEA purchase of $25 or more. A bonus $25 reward after making a $500 in qualifying purchases. 0% interest for 6, 12, or 24 months depending on the purchase size. No annual fee, and they accept Afterpay. You can pay in 4 interest-free installments. Pay 25% of the purchase at the time of the purchase, then pay the remaining 3 payments over the next 6 weeks. Options! Who doesn't love options? IKEA will give you those options while you help upgrade your home and furnish your wonderful house. Ben Bruss, Brad Nortman, no Kyle Wallace, Alex Strofe running the show. You can get us at 800-990-3776. Don chimes in on the Carbless Talking text line as Jason Wilde was just captivated by the MAC Fund fundraising and the conversations between significant others about us getting our buzz cuts for the MAC Fund. Considering that Ben always keeps his promises and will do more than these two ever will, cut Benny some slack. There is no doubt he will keep his promise at a later date. Guys, this is a life milestone. You don't want to mess with that.
It's
Here's the thing, Don.
months away.
Strofe, you don't have to do this. I'm the man of the house. Unlike Kyle, he's the fraud man of the house. I'm getting my hair cut Monday. I got this.
Monday,
I got this.
How short we going, though? How short we going?
Same as you, Brad. A 3.
Okay. I think
exactly. Okay. Yeah, you're not going to have me do less.
I'm going to wait until I see it.
I'm mowing a 2-acre lawn.
Man, yeah, that's true. That's no joke.
let's not pile on here to the guy that's doing the most out of anybody here. I'm going to deliver on all these things. Strove's crying all last show because he's got to get his buzz cut, and now he comes in today and he's like, oh, I look pretty good. My girlfriend called me cute. Like, you guys were the ones crying. Don't try and flip this on me. I'm going to deliver.
I just want to see when delivery happens. I will applaud it when it does, because I will say, okay, Ben Bruss is putting KBN Nation before his own nuptials, which I appreciate and respect. I just can't wait for, Monday, 2 p.m.? Are you cutting your own hair?
Monday, 2 p.m.
So are you cutting your own hair, or someone cutting it for you?
I'd hope Barber TC will step up, because he did your guys' hair, and to be honest, TC's much closer to me than he is to you. So I'd be very upset if he didn't help me out. That being said, I do want to have a conversation about where the Green Bay Packers are in Super Bowl odds, because I find it interesting that they are at plus 2,000. Does everybody feel like at this point, compared to last year, that the roster's in a better spot?
I do believe it's in a better spot. Yes.
I also agree.
Strove?
Yep. I also think it's in
and that's where I'm struggling here, because the Eagles are the NFC favorite at plus 650, tied with the Chiefs. Then you go to the Lions at plus 900, the 49ers at plus 1,500, the Commanders at plus 1,500, and then the Packers at plus 2,000. I just don't feel like there's enough reason why there's such a separation between a team that had a rookie quarterback go wild, and there's going to be some sort of regression from Jaden Daniels, and the 49ers, they're talented. We know they're talented, but they're kind of in this weird spot of trying to regain their NFC dominance. The Packers have a third-year starter in Jordan Love that has everything, if not more, than Brock Purdy from a skill set standpoint. Purdy's been able to do it maybe at a higher level more consistently, but he's had a lot of weapons. You have Josh Jacobs, an offensive line, 2 tight ends, invested in the wide receiver room. I know that's just one side of the football, but I got Jason Wilde telling me that he still believes that the defense is a better opportunity to be top 5 than the offense. I'm sitting here and I'm thinking to myself, forget the Super Bowl. The fact that the Lions, you don't have to lay any money for them in the division. The Lions are plus 120 to win the division. The Packers are plus 275. They lost 2 coordinators. I mean, you look at the Chiefs are minus 122. The Texans are minus 106 to win theirs. The Bills minus 265. The Ravens minus 143. You have a lot of these teams that are the odds-on favorite to win their divisions, and you have to lay money down to get money back. You have plus money for the Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions were so dominant last year in the regular season. They lost 2 coordinators. That's telling me that there's value in taking the Green Bay Packers at plus 275. Am I crazy?
No, I don't think you are, and especially when it comes to the Super Bowl odds one surprises me specifically, because I'm not surprised that the Lions are the favorite in the division. Now, that big of a favorite is a little bit of a surprise, but the Eagles, the Lions, I can totally see the world where those are your NFC favorites to go to the Super Bowl, win the Super Bowl. I don't understand the argument that the Packers are below the 49ers and the Commanders. Now, those teams also have quarterbacks sort of in the same world as Jordan Love. They've got talent. Packers have got talent. Good head coaches across the board. I view them in the same exact tier. I don't know what the odds makers are seeing about the Green Bay Packers that can't keep up with those 2 teams. Those 2 teams feel like the next tier of NFC teams that the Packers are firmly into me. So, do I think that in the division it should be tighter? For sure, because the Lions, they relied a lot on the brain of Ben Johnson and the grit of Aaron Glenn. Can they keep that going? Can you just replicate a brain like Ben Johnson calling plays? I'm not sure it's that easy. And when it comes to the grand scheme of Super Bowl champion odds, I don't understand why the Packers are not toe-to-toe with the 49ers and the Commanders, particularly the 49ers. The 49ers are good, right? Good head coach, GM, quarterback, but it feels like they're, to your point, Ben, they're in this in-between of shedding talent for cap reasons, trying to go young, but also trying to be relevant. They're in a very weird position where...
And competitive, yes.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to thread a needle that is near impossible to thread in the NFL.
They've always had an identity, I don't know what their identity is right now because a lot of that really good defense is gone. Bosa continues to struggle with being healthy, and a lot of those assets on offense also are going to be going by the wayside with Brock Purdy.
Left guard Aaron Banks is on the Green Bay Packer. Left tackle Trent Williams is getting older. Christian McCaffrey, speaking of injuries, is hard to rely upon. They did move on from Debo. Ayuk's coming off of injury. I have a hard time looking at the 49ers and thinking that they're in a better spot that I would want to bet them to win the NFC championship than I would the Packers. And I know we talked holistically Super Bowl, but obviously the odds, if you just looked at the NFC, the teams ahead of the Packers and the odds for the Super Bowl will be ahead of them in the NFC.
It's easy to look at this in terms of windows to me, right? And you look at this and you say, okay, Eagles, Lions, Commanders, feels like their Super Bowl window wide open for the next couple of years. Packers, I would also put in that to where you say everything should be coming together at the right time. When it comes to the 49ers, I feel like they had their window. Everything did start to come together at the right time. They could just never quite close the door on it. So those Super Bowl odds, those have me confused. I don't know. Packers certainly shouldn't be much higher than plus 1,500. But boy, oh boy, to be below that, I feel like there's disrespect in the odds makers for the Green Bay Packers.
Are we living in loony land where we cover our team too much that we lose sight of the other teams in the NFL? In this scenario, I don't think so. I really don't. We're talking about a team that has a head coach that won 13 straight games in 3 seasons. When moving on from Aaron Rodgers, he found a way to the postseason 2 straight years. They bring back continuity. They added pieces. They bolstered up the offensive line. They upgraded the defensive coordinator position. They have a kicker that doesn't make you sweat every time he goes out there because you know he's going to miss. The team is well put together in ways that the odds should not be the same as close as they were the last 2 years. So if you hear me out and you see that there's value, you can head over to Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Ben Bruss, Brad Nortman, Alex Stroh running the show. KBN Nation, 800-990-3776. We wrap up the ESPN Wisconsin portion. I don't know if we're back on 100.5 ESPN Madison, but either way, they're getting Jim, Matt, and Molly when the Brewers postgame is over. A tough 8-0 loss, the first scoreless game for the Milwaukee Bucks this season. Record is 16-16. We might have to do some Brewers math soon. Yes, Alex Stroh.
You said Milwaukee Bucks.
Milwaukee Brewers. Sorry.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman.
Kyle, I think you're doing a good job getting it all off your chest.
I love Matt LaFleur.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. The 2015 Wisconsin men's hoops team gave us all a march to remember.
There will be no undefeated champion on Wisconsin with an unbelievable stretch drive to the championship game.
On June 26th, enjoy an intimate celebration with the stars of the run with Made 'em Believe. Presented by M3 Insurance. World-class expertise and individual attention. Tickets are on sale now at uwhoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe. June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
When you don't compromise on the court, you shouldn't compromise off of it either. Lose the calories, not the taste. Michelob Ultra. Superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri. Copyright 2024.
Hey Bucks fans, enjoy Michelob Ultra at Dugout 54 Milwaukee, Maxwell's Cedarburg, Hart Milwaukee, Papa's Stash Big Bend, and Who's on Layton Milwaukee. Michelob Ultra, proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Bucks.
At Citizens Bank, community banking is you, growing your business with a partner who gets it. It's you, buying your first home with a lender who makes it easy. It's you, building a future with savings that work just as hard as you. And it's us, working together to strengthen our community. Because at Citizens Bank, community banking means you plus us. Visit us at citizensbankwi.bank. Citizens Bank is member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Harry Douglas.
There was no excitement like I seen with other draft picks that they had acquired and picked during the NFL draft. But I will say this, when it comes to Shedeur Sanders being in Cleveland, it is the best situation because we know their quarterback position is not secured and sold up. The head scratcher is when they also take Dylan Gabriel in the 3rd round. And I'm thinking about a Kevin Stefanski offense and I was confused. Like, I really am. And a lot of people say it's a good thing to have that many quarterbacks. Well, you still have Deshaun Watson. You have Joe Flacco. You also have Kenny Pickett that you acquired. You have Dylan Gabriel and now Shedeur Sanders. And someone said if you have to have 5 quarterbacks competing for a starting job, that tells me as a front office, you don't know how to judge the position correctly.
Something amazing is happening. Despite a citywide blackout, this company is still up and running. That's because CDW deployed and managed a cost-effective Eaton Triplite Series Smart Pro UPS to safeguard equipment easily and reliably. Keep the power on and protect your IT equipment from electrical challenges. Triplite by Eaton and CDW. Make amazing happen. Find out more at cdw.com/triplite.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen 1 too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, cause you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things. People. Love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
It started with a whisper, and now it's when I kissed her, and then she met my lips. I can hear the chit chat, take me to your love shack. Mama's always got a backtrack.
It is great to be in Madison for the day. Doesn't matter where you are, make sure you're listening to us on the ESPN Wisconsin app. And then you can also, I think we have it up there now. You can go to the ESPN Wisconsin app, or you can just go to uwhoops2015.com, because Made 'em Believe is coming June 26th at the Orpheum in Madison, presented by Michelob Ultra, Potosi Varsity Ale, and Hard Seltzer, plus M3 Insurance. We have a magical night ahead with Frank Kaminsky, with Bo Ryan, with Josh Gosser, Sam Decker, for a live show called Made 'em Believe to celebrate the 2015 Final Four team. Everyone knows where they were when they beat Kentucky. We'll relive the fun stories of the playing days, but also the behind-the-scenes stories, and get those personalities that you loved, and we'll break it out even further for all of you to enjoy. That's uwhoops2015.com. Ben Brust, Brad Nortman, Alex Strofe running the show. 800-990-3776 is the Carbless talk and text line. Strophe, are we, or I guess I was kind of leading the charge. I'm kind of Packer backering right now. Am I getting a little too overzealous?
Overzealous is a words button. You just can't hear it. No. I mean, I don't know. I gushed this morning on Wilde and Tausch about how excited I am about this Packers offense. Defensively, obviously, there's some things to prove, but if Jair's back, which it sounds like that option's back, I feel really good about the defense, too. So I'm just saying, watch out.
I can't wait to see Jordan Love cook, baby. This is the year.
What are you most excited for the Packers next year? We have a special surprise. Hear Brad Out is next on 94.5 ESPN in 2 minutes. You got Jim Matt and Molly Madison, Damn Sports Show in Beaver Dam. Hear Brad Out, top of the hour, next.
You're gonna go to the record store.
In 2 minutes.
You're gonna give them.
Well, we do have an issue on eastbound 94 just past 25th Street, almost into the Marquette. We've got a crash. It is off on the right shoulder, so watch out for that. No major delays past it, but the westbound side sure is slowing down from 25th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Northbound 41, heavy from Watertown Plank Road up past Capitol. Southbound is going to be slow from just before Good Hope Road all the way down to Capitol Drive. And then we've got delays southbound 43 from Capitol all the way down through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge down past Lincoln. There is a broken down vehicle on the left shoulder that seems to be causing